A mystery creature washes up on a South Georgia beach and it has everyone scratching their heads.
Scientists have unearthed a 100-million-year-old dinosaur fossil in WA. First discovery of the dinosaur fully intact.
While exploring the world, expect the unexpected. Imagine million-year-old beings coming back to life, or bizarre sightings of mythical creatures in the most unlikely places.
For hundreds of years, visitors to Scotland's Loch Ness have sworn that they have seen a monster coming up from the depths.
Look at that.
Defying the rules of extinction, these ancient creatures are making a grand re-entry into our world. Velociraptor caught on camera. A few friends decided to explore a forest in Peru and experience its wildlife. With a camera in hand, they excitedly trekked deep into the woods. As night fell, they set up camp and positioned the camera, hoping to capture the nocturnal creatures in action. The next morning, they gathered around the camera. They watched footage of something strange appearing on the screen. A creature, which was barely visible in the dim light, ran across the frame. It moved quickly, with speed that stunned them. One of them suddenly said, "It looks like a velociraptor." Velociraptors, as they're remembered from dinosaur books, were feathered and about the size of a wolf, weighing up to 100 pounds. This one looked almost the same, just a lot smaller. Sea dragon sighting. Let's take a trip to China now, a hub of mysterious sightings. There, a fisherman named Wei was out on his boat one calm evening. As he looked into the water, he noticed something below. He leaned over the edge for a closer look, but what he saw left him speechless. There it was, gliding under the water, a creature that looked like a seahorse dragon. Its body was slender like a serpent, with delicate fins that fluttered like wings. It reminded Wei of the mythical Chinese dragons he'd seen in books. The country's very famous for its history with dragons, so we can't rule this out as just an edited video. Plesiosaur sighting. One sunny afternoon, Mark Thompson and his son were exploring the shores near Bayview Beach. The kid noticed something on the sand, which initially they mistook for a stranded seal. So they moved closer to get a better look. To their surprise, that wasn't any seal, but a small creature that seemed to belong to a much older time. This tiny creature was far smaller than the ancient dinosaurs. But when the video reached Reddit, it sparked a heck of a debate among enthusiasts. Some speculated it could be a descendant of larger prehistoric dinosaurs. Dinosaur in the wild. David was traveling on a highway when he saw something unusual in the distance. He stopped his car and hid behind a nearby wall to get a better look. On the road were two dinosaurs. One was sitting on the ground, looking injured, while the other one stood nearby, appearing aggressive. It seemed like the standing dinosaur had attacked the other one. David quickly pulled out his phone and started recording, his hands trembling with excitement and fear. As he recorded, the standing dinosaur suddenly noticed him. He turned and ran back to his car. He could hear the dinosaurs roar behind him, but he didn't look back. He jumped into his car, started the engine, and sped away. Largest ichthyosaur discovered. In 2016, the scientific world was in a frenzy. Researchers discovered the fossilized remains of an ancient marine reptile known as an ichthyosaur in Antarctica. What made this discovery truly special was not just the preserved skeleton of the adult ichthyosaur, but also the fossilized remains of an embryo inside of the mother. This gives off a kind of snapshot of a prehistoric pregnancy, and also provides scientists with new insights into the reproductive biology and evolution of these creatures. Ichthyosaurs, which thrived during the Mesozoic era, looked a lot like modern-day dolphins. Mysterious creature.
Look at that.
In the United States, off the coast of North Carolina, a mysterious sea creature was spotted. Imagine being there just enjoying your day by the sea, when suddenly this massive being surfaces for a brief moment. It looked like something out of a dinosaur movie or another mythical monster.
Look at that.
The sightings caused a lot of speculation, as imaginations ran wild trying to figure out what it might be. Triceratops spotted. A safari. A group of tourists were exploring the wilderness back in 2021. Their Jeep was moving slowly through the darkness, its headlights revealing a massive Triceratops standing right in the middle of the road. That dinosaur stood there with its 3 horns and large frill clearly visible. Their flashlights showed the dinosaur's rough, textured skin and enormous size. To them, it felt like stepping back in time. Like all other dinosaurs, this one also seemed unbothered by human presence, and it eventually wandered off into the bushes. As the Jeep moved forward again, the tourists couldn't stop talking about what they had seen. Triceratops spotted in wild. At the Beijing Zoo, there were talks going on of Triceratops seen in the wild. Yes, a real-life Triceratops. This massive dinosaur, known for its 3 horns and large frill, had somehow appeared in modern times. As the zookeepers gathered around the truck, they prepared to unload the enormous creature. That Triceratops was about 9 meters long and weighed up to 10 metric tons, and it did not seem happy. The men held onto thick ropes trying to guide it out of the truck, but the dinosaur resisted, pulling back with surprising strength. It was both amazing and a bit scary to watch. The zookeepers worked together, slowly getting the huge dinosaur towards its new home. Mosasaurus Sighting. At an oil rig in the North Sea, the workers felt strange disruptions shaking the platform. They were determined to solve the mystery, so the workers set up an underwater camera to see what was causing the disturbance. The next morning, they gathered to review the footage. What they saw left them speechless. A massive creature swam past the camera. It was this thing that caused the disruptions. It was a Mosasaurus, a giant marine reptile from the age of dinosaurs. The workers were terrified. Mosasaurus had a long body and powerful jaws. It really was an incredible sight. They watched it move through the water, and the discovery quickly became the talk of the rig. Lake Champlain Monster. Lake Champlain is a natural freshwater lake in North America. Now, not many people know this, but this body of water holds a grim secret: the legendary being known as Champ. This lake monster has sparked curiosity for years, with numerous reported sightings. In one video, a mysterious shape can be seen beneath the surface. Champ is described as roughly 5 feet long, with silver gray scales and a body as thick as a man's thigh. Its head is about 2.5 feet long and is equipped with sharp, dangerous teeth similar to that of ancient dinosaurs. These features give us the idea that Champ might be as old as the dinosaurs themselves. Flying Terrasaur spotted. What's scarier than spotting dinosaurs in this day and age? Spotting a flying dinosaur! In Idaho, this group of friends was out enjoying the weather when they had this terrifying experience. At first, they thought it was a large bird, but as it flew closer, they realized it was something much more. They quickly grabbed their phones and started recording. The creature had narrow wings and a long neck, and it was gliding effortlessly through the air. One of them had read about pterosaurs, and he identified its unique features on this thing. They had free hind limbs, short tails, and large heads. on the ground. They walked upright on all fours. They could take off from the ground, and fossil evidence shows that some species could run, wade, or even swim. Viewers are skeptical though, saying it's not real. What do you think? Dinosaur spotted on CCTV. CCTVs are normally for catching thieves, and sometimes people acting weird. But dinosaurs being caught having fun on CCTV? Now that's a first. In Orlando, Florida, one night in 2020, Emily was checking the footage from her backyard security camera. As she watched, something caught her eye, a fast-moving creature racing across the screen. Emily couldn't believe it. It looked like a real-life dinosaur. The creature moved swiftly, and its movements reminded her of the dinosaurs she had seen in Jurassic Park movies. She replayed the footage to make sure she was not hallucinating. The creature had a long tail and walked on two legs. Its movements were quick and purposeful, as if it had somewhere important to be. Trail camera captures dinosaur. Trail cameras over the years captured some pretty mysterious encounters during treks, but this one definitely takes the cake. On a trail in the English countryside, the security cameras captured this. At first, the footage showed a long neck slowly emerging from behind the bushes, resembling an oversized ostrich. But as the camera continued recording, the full creature came into view. It was a Brachiosaurus. The massive dinosaur was calmly munching on the tall bushes, completely unaware of being recorded. Its enormous size and gentle presence are just amazing, even on the grainy camera footage. The next morning, when the property owner Paul reviewed the footage, he couldn't believe his eyes. The dinosaur's towering height and long neck were so fascinating. Unexpected dinosaur sighting. In Brazil, one night, Ricardo was parking his car in the garage. As his headlights swept across the driveway, something unexpected was illuminated by the headlights. There, near his garage, was a small, strange creature. Ricardo blinked, thinking he must be seeing things. But no, it was really a baby dinosaur. That little dinosaur was wandering around, seemingly curious and unafraid. It had a small, scaly body and moved with quick, agile steps. Ricardo quickly grabbed his phone and recorded this amazing video. He watched as the baby dinosaur explored the area, sniffing around the plants and looking completely out of place in the modern world. How do you think it got there? Best preserved armored dinosaur fossils. Back in 2011, in Alberta's tar sands, a heavy equipment operator named Thomas was digging through the mine when he noticed some rocks with an unusual color and pattern. This made him curious, so he called over his supervisor. What they hadn't realized was that they'd stumbled upon the petrified front half, from snout to hips, of a 3,000-pound nodosaur. Researchers believe that millions of years ago, a nodosaur was swept away by a flood and carried out to sea. As it sank, it likely created an impact crater and was rapidly buried by sediment. This quick burial prevented scavengers from reaching it, and the nodosaur didn't decompose much before it fossilized. Giant dinosaur fossils. In Argentina, scientists have made an incredible discovery in paleontology: the largest dinosaur bones ever found. Yeah, you heard that right. This belongs to what is believed to be the biggest creature to ever walk the earth. To grasp just how massive this titanosaur was, you can compare its thigh bone to an average person. Titanosaurs roamed the earth about 90 million years ago. With its long neck extended, this dinosaur would stand as tall as a 7-story building and weigh around 77 tons, roughly the same as 14 adult elephants. The discovery includes over 200 bones from this new species. The fossils were first found by a local farmer in 2012. I hope they compensated him for this amazing find. Massive sea creature.
Oh my gosh!
This cruise ship was sailing through the icy waters in the Pacific when there was a sudden collision. There was a loud, ominous thud, and the ship shook violently. People were terrified, and some even thought of the possibility of an encounter with a mysterious creature, or even a lost dinosaur.
Oh my gosh!
Passengers and crew rushed to the decks, searching anxiously for any sign of what had struck them. Then, as visibility improved, the truth became clear. The cause of the commotion was not a mythical creature at all, but it was an iceberg that had been in the ship's way. Ambiguous collision. These explorers became intrigued by rumors of a massive sea monster sighting in a nearby lake in Florida, so they were like, let's check it out. They spent hours near the lake setting up their camera. After a while of waiting with no luck, they decided to take a break. When they returned, they reviewed the footage that they had captured. They initially didn't see anything out of the ordinary, but when they looked closer, they noticed a strange, large shape emerging from the water's surface. The waves distorted its appearance, making it seem even larger than it actually was. One of them even gave the wild idea that it was maybe a dinosaur. Whatever it was, they were excited that they'd captured evidence of the creature they'd heard so much about. Dragon caught on tape. Off the shores of Vietnam, a group of local fishermen had a fascinating encounter recently. They were out at sea, going about their usual fishing routine in the calm waters, when something extraordinary happened. Out of nowhere, a creature surfaced that looked like a dragon from ancient tales. It was only visible for a moment before gracefully disappearing beneath the waves. The fishermen were stunned by what they saw.
Oh my God!
Loch Ness Monster. At Lake Como, a lifeguard had an unexpected experience recently. While keeping watch over the calm waters, he spotted something extraordinary. A creature approximately 15 meters long gliding through the lake's depths. Initially incredulous, he quickly grabbed his camera, hoping to capture the creature before it disappeared. Could it really have been a Loch Ness monster-like creature, but in Lake Como? News of the sighting spread swiftly, sparking skepticism among locals and visitors. Crowds gathered along the lake's shore, hoping to catch a glimpse of the mysterious creature themselves. Mysterious dinosaur sighting. At a lake in Japan, Taro was enjoying a peaceful walk along the shore. The lake was calm with an early morning. As he looked into the distance, something unusual caught his eye. It was a large, mysteriously moving shape. Now, if you look closely, you'll realize that the thing is too big to be a fish and moves with a smooth, gliding motion. Suddenly, the creature surfaced briefly, revealing a streamlined body. It looks exactly like a dinosaur. He quickly pulled out his phone and started recording, but the creature probably got scared and swam away. Dinosaur in action. On Halloween night in Germany, two friends were driving home, enjoying the spooky atmosphere. But suddenly, a creature came up from behind the parked cars. Now, it was Halloween, so obviously they thought it was going to be something spooky. At first, it looked like a dinosaur, and for a moment, they were terrified. But as they approached this so-called dinosaur, that fear quickly turned into laughter. It wasn't a prehistoric monster, just someone in a dinosaur costume, and not even a good one. The guy was probably trying to give people a good scare for the night. They must have laughed all the way back home. Dinosaurs spotted. Moving on, I found this video on Reddit. According to the caption, a teenager went for a walk in a restricted area on a beach in the Bahamas, and just as he reached the end, he heard some creepy sounds. When he turned, he saw these small creatures running and playing on the beach. At first, he thought they were baby Brachiosaurus, the dinosaur that's, of course, long been extinct. However, after some time, the truth was revealed that someone had played with the visuals. This is actually a video of goats running around, but in reverse. They do look a lot like baby Brachiosaurus, huh? Dinosaurs spotted in lake. In Southeast Asia, some visitors were on a boating expedition one afternoon. Something caught their attention. It was a long, snake-like creature swimming just below the water surface. Initially, it looked like a large fish or perhaps an elusive aquatic reptile. The friends soon realized it was unlike anything they'd ever seen before. The thing moved with a flowing, almost hypnotic motion. Its long, twisting body swayed through the water. They were eager to capture this rare sight. One of them quickly reached for their camera and started recording. The creature's form was visible for only a fleeting moment before it vanished beneath the depths. Moments later, its tail gently broke the surface near their boat, leaving a ripple in the calm lake. Tiny raptor. In the Amazon rainforest, this small, swift raptor was spotted by some locals. It was running towards a tiny cave, but this one looks pretty real to me. They had come deep into the jungle hoping to see rare animals and plants. They never imagined finding a creature that looked like a tiny version of dinosaurs they'd only seen in movies. However, the raptor quickly disappeared into the cave, and they were too afraid to follow him in. Amazon really is one of the wildest places on the earth, and if there's one place you might find a real-life dinosaur hiding, it's gonna be there. Dinosaur sighting in Russia. In a quiet part of Russia, a man was enjoying his evening walk when he noticed something unusual. He grabbed his camera and tried to capture the strange movement up ahead. To his shock, a small creature appeared. It was a baby Velociraptor. The man could barely believe his eyes. He followed it with his camera, recording the brief moment before the tiny dinosaur vanished into the bushes. The way it ran was like it was playing with other velociraptors. Maybe there were more of those things around. What do you think? Night vision reveals dinosaurs. In a quiet village in Mexico, people living near the forest started noticing some unusual activity. Curious and a bit nervous, they decided to set up cameras to figure out what was going on. After a few days, they gathered to watch the footage, and what they saw left them in shock. There on the screen were a few raptors running around the forest, darting between trees and disappearing into the underbrush. Shy dinosaur. Dinosaurs are some of the most shy creatures to have ever lived, and that's pretty evident from the fact that they've stayed hidden from humans for so long. In a small Armenian town, there was an old abandoned house with a backyard full of garbage. People passing by occasionally mentioned seeing something strange moving around back there. One evening, a group of curious neighbors decided to investigate. As they peeked over the fence, they spotted a baby dinosaur. It was small and seemed very shy. It quickly hid behind the garbage bins whenever it sensed movement. Mysterious dinosaur-like creature. All right, we're back in Florida, the home state of reptiles. One early morning, there was a group of friends who decided to take a walk along their favorite trail. As they were talking, something moved quickly across the path in front of them. They all stopped in their tracks, watching as the huge creature vanished into the bushes. It had a massive body and a long tail that looked exactly like a dinosaur's. They decided to follow the trail a bit further, hoping to catch another glimpse. However, the thing had vanished from sight. Where could it have gone? Raptor in jungle. Deep within a dense jungle in Argentina at night, some researchers set up camp to observe the wildlife. They were there to observe some exotic birds, but they captured a lot more. There was darkness everywhere, and suddenly something mysterious dashed past their camp, catching them by surprise. One of the friends turned on the torch to see, but then another raptor appeared. This one didn't flee immediately. It just stood there, its eyes glinting in the flashlight's glow, and it let out a loud scream that echoed through the trees. This is the first time I've ever heard the voice of a dinosaur. Dinosaur in the sewer. There's a lot that can be found in sewers. Rats, Ninja Turtles, even clowns. However, what this team found was a lot different. The team from United Utility Sewer Engineers was doing their usual survey when something unusual showed up on their camera. The footage seems to show a dinosaur-like creature running through the sewer tunnels of the UK. It had a large tail moving quickly across the screen. People have been wondering if dinosaurs might still be living secretly in the sewers. The creature's movement is surprising. almost like it's racing through the tunnel at lightning speed. Some say it looks like a raptor. Others think it's a different breed we don't know about yet. The idea of dinosaurs hiding in our sewers is wild, but the footage has certainly sparked a lot of debate. Megalodon fossils. Have you heard of the Megalodon? In the ancient sea, these creatures thrived. There were no sharks like the Megalodon. Fossil discoveries, like its large triangular teeth, shed light on the prehistoric giant. Did you know this creature was mistaken for dragons or a giant snake tongue? These teeth were correctly identified in 1667 by Danish naturalist Nicholas Steno as belonging to a shark. What baffled scientists further was the similarity between Megalodon's teeth and those of today's great white sharks. But the real surprise came in 1959, when carbon dating of these teeth revealed ages between 11,000 and 24,000 years old. Before this, it was believed that the Megalodon went extinct 3.4 million years ago. So, what's the truth? Subscribers pick. Lake of the Woods in Oregon holds a secret that many are not aware of. The place is the resting place of one of the last dinosaurs. One explorer was eager to find it, so he visited the place to see the creature with his own eyes. And he was stunned. This giant dinosaur, which should be extinct according to scientists, was thriving in the Lake of the Woods. It had a really long neck and gigantic body. There's no mistaking it. This thing is definitely a Brachiosaurus. Mammoth sighting. In the remote wilderness of Siberia, a Russian engineer on an expedition captures a surprising sight. He captured on his camera a massive, woolly creature that resembles a mammoth. The video is only 25 seconds long, but it eventually made its way to an English newspaper. Skeptics argue that the poor quality of the footage suggests a hoax. However, some believe it could be genuine evidence of woolly mammoths. It is believed to have gone extinct 4,000 years ago. Kraken. Legends of the Kraken have fascinated humans for centuries, and many still believe that this being can be found in the Bermuda Triangle. Well, these marine researchers found this giant creature with really long tentacles in the Pacific Ocean, and believers are brimming with excitement that the Kraken has finally been identified. It seems to be hunting its prey. Tasmanian Tiger sighting. In April 2009, Murray McAllister stumbled upon an astonishing sight while hiking through the dense forests of Tasmania. With his camera, he managed to capture footage of a creature thought to be extinct, the elusive Tasmanian tiger. As he was setting up camp for the night, Murray noticed a flicker of movement in the underbrush. To his amazement, a striped, dog-like animal emerged, moving cautiously through the trees. He quickly began filming. The creature, which is often described as having a wolf-like head and striped back, matched all the descriptions of the legendary Tasmanian tiger. Giant extinct bird spotted. New Zealand has some amazing history with prehistoric animals, especially giant birds. In 2010, hikers were exploring a remote area there, when suddenly they spotted several large flightless birds. These birds were unmistakably moa, a species believed to be extinct for 500 years. Moa were once giants among birds, with 9 different species roaming New Zealand. These birds, however, were wiped out by the Maori, who hunted them for their meat, feathers, and bones. Extinct Zanzibar leopard sighting. For more than 2 decades, the Zanzibar leopard has been considered extinct. However, what if I told you that this big cat might still roam the wilds of Zanzibar? A few tourists saw it with their own eyes. Imagine being the one to catch a glimpse of this majestic creature and prove to the world that it's alive today. The Zanzibar leopard was once native to the Zanzibar archipelago off the coast of Tanzania. It was known for its distinctive coat pattern and shy nature, making it incredibly difficult to spot. Over time, habitat loss and human activity pushed this species to the brink of extinction. The Bloop. Moving on, we have this scuba diver exploring the ocean depths. Turning around, the diver sees a massive shadow approaching from behind. He quickly realized it's the Bloop. This giant shark-like being makes every other marine creature look insignificant. This giant creature once ruled the seas millions of years ago. It was the largest shark species known to exist, growing up to 60 feet long or more. However, many who see this think the video is fake. So what do you think? Dragon. In the wide Pacific Ocean, a few friends were boating when suddenly a deep-sea dragon emerged in shallow water. Deep-sea dragons are like ancient dragons that changed over time, living deep in the ocean. They evolved over millions of years, becoming masters of hiding with their leafy parts that blend perfectly with seaweed and kelp. Their long, slim bodies glide gracefully through the water, almost as if they're dancing.